remain as safe as they can be in terms of doing their job. So they're going to continue with that line further down the street, slowly make their way to where that vehicle is burning. And in the interim, they're going to try to isolate those people who we told you about, the troublemakers. I'd like to get even further at this point, but this group of officers right over here, one in particular, made it very clear that if we moved any further, we would get arrested. I want to be able to stay out here, continue to do our jobs, and do not want to get arrested. So we're going to stay where we are right here, at least for now. But in terms of what the officers are dealing with, there are, even what we've seen, there are some masked protesters that we've seen, demonstrators that have been out here. Some of those who have walked by, who've been bent on causing some trouble. They're trying to isolate those people, get them off the street, while also trying to put out that vehicle fire. Don?
Okay, Jason. Jason, yeah, I need to jump in. Jason, be safe, but we're going to keep your pictures up. I want to get now to the Brown family attorney, Ben Crump, who's on the phone right now. Ben, can you hear me?
I can,
Ben
yes.
Crump, you can. It's sad that all of this is happening. We know that the family is upset. We know that protesters are upset. But can you talk to us about what we're witnessing here?
I don't see what you're witnessing, but I can talk to you about the family and their wishes. They wish that people will not be violent, people will be constructive, people will be peaceful, as they've asked all along. They want change, Don. They want to not just make noise, they want to make a difference.
Yeah. And I'm sure the family is probably somewhere witnessing this as well, and this is not what they wanted. Initially, Ben, I heard they wanted a 4.5 minute moment of silence before the protest started, and specifically they said no violence. Unfortunately, that is not playing out, at least here in Ferguson, and the president as well saying that this evening. But I have to tell you, Ben, the people who needed to hear what the president was saying this evening probably were not able to hear him because they were not in front of the television. Instead, they were out here, many of them, not all of them, but rioting and having tear gas thrown at them.
Well, hopefully we can reach them through social media, through you out there on the street corner. We got to find a way to reach them to say what we need now is people to be disciplined and dignified so we can try to address these real serious issues that keeps claiming our children's lives. The Michael Brown and the unknown Michael Browns are crying out from the grave saying, we have to change this system that let people kill them and are not held without consequence. That's the serious conversation we have to have, Don.
Yeah. All right, Benjamin Crump, thank you very much. We appreciate you joining us here on CNN. If you're just joining us here on CNN, we want to tell you that we're live here. The reason we're not in front of a camera is because there has been chaos, and the pictures that we're looking at now are from the Ferguson Market and Liquor, and this is, I believe, the same store where those cigarillos were stolen with Michael Brown, the videotape of him and Doria Johnson in the store having an altercation with the store owner. And correct me if I'm wrong, producers, is this looting at this particular store that we're witnessing live? This store, as you can see, is on West Florissant. And again, we're not outside because there has been some rioting, some looting. Tear gas has been thrown, water bottles we witnessed being thrown at police, and the police, of course, retaliated with tear gas. And our security people, as well as the Ferguson Police Department, moved us to what we have here as a safe room. But unfortunately, many people who are out in that crowd, women and children, as Chris Cuomo witnesses, many of our correspondents and anchors have witnessed, they have been overcome with tear gas. And again, this Ferguson Market and Liquor store, listen, I believe, just from looking at the pictures, one would assume that store is being looted. Sadly, all of that does not really help the cause of the protesters. It really deflects the attention from what the president spoke to tonight, really what the prosecutor, Bob McCullough, spoke of tonight. Bob McCullough acknowledging that there were issues with police and with the community, and that, unfortunately, the death of Michael Brown would open up conversation, at least for people to start a conversation and to possibly come to some sort of consensus as to how to deal with this situation. But hey, listen, there's no way to describe what you're seeing on your screen as just utter chaos. and embarrassment, really, I would say, for the Brown family, for the peaceful and law-abiding citizens of Ferguson and this country. And my producers are cueing me here as we're watching people loot this convenience store, this liquor store. I want to go now to CNN's Jake Tapper, who is out in the crowd with more. Jake, what are you seeing?
Hey Don, how are you? Well, we're right near the Ferguson Police Department, and you can see all the big police trucks, the line of police officers in their riot gear standing there blocking. We've heard anecdotally that the shots that were fired, I think earlier tonight, Chris Como was in the area, and you too as well, Don, were fired from over there. So there's a lot of concern about being in between up the street and over here where the police are. And I'm trying to see if I can get a good camera angle here. But the police car that's in flames, you can see flickers of it down the street here. Can you see? Okay, that's good. Let's get over here. Hold on one second. And I'm told that we're looking at pictures also of looting of the store where this whole thing began, Ferguson Liquor. But there you go. There's the St. Louis, I believe the St. Louis County police car that earlier tonight was vandalized and then set on fire. You can see the flames just piercing the sky. It's a conflagration. And obviously police and state troopers wearing their riot gear, standing here in front of the City of Ferguson Police Department and Municipal Court as violence has erupted in Ferguson, not unexpectedly but disappointingly, after the grand jury failed to deliver a verdict against Officer Darren Wilson. Now we're being told to move. Fire trucks are coming out, so we're told that we're going to get out of the way of the fire trucks. Watch out there? Okay. It began peacefully enough earlier outside, Don, as you know, with the crowd gathering outside and listening, coming together for the verdict. But then, as time passed and it became clear from the prosecutor, things changed. Don Lemon, back to you.
Smoking up here. It is mayhem out here. We saw a good number of police officers leave the scene, take off in their cruisers. While right after they left, we watched a wireless store just looted. I watched 20 people or so break in there, and then one young man threatened me for recording it. And right after that, then I saw two young women come over and say, "This is our," she's an expletive, they were like, "This is our stuff that you're doing this to. Why are you doing this?" And so some of them stopped, and then everyone ran out the store. But just people running back and forth all over the street from where the Ferguson market breaking in there, targeting different locations here. And it is mayhem. This car backing down the street, in the middle of the street right here. It's mayhem out here. And from where I'm standing, I don't see one police officer. It's completely just mayhem, people running around and trying to break into these different stores and going in and out. It's unbelievable how it looks out here right now. And the fact that you have young